It looks like everyone is right on time for the divine this morning, and the divine always makes time for you. Since we're in a world where time seems to matter, right? And the rushing around if you're late and all of that stuff, but the Lord is always with you and in you and as you. So let's celebrate some for, a most amazing ending of a year and getting really prepared for the new year. I have a nice little quote here. It says that the most important thing, Todd and Sarah and Lynn and Lisa and Betsy, the most important thing that you can carry into the new year is a deeper relationship with God. It's so interesting, the ends of things, because the most important part of our life is the endings, is how we're finishing. It's like you've done all this probing and gone through your suffering and have your phobias and whatever else, and you finally get to the end to the end game. And that's the most important, my dears. I don't care what your age is. This is so important, a end of this year. So the most important thing we can carry into the new year is a deeper relationship with God. Everything else is temporary. Do you know why you sometimes get a little fearful, or you sometimes get a little moody, or you sometimes get like depressed and some despair? It's because we know that life is temporary at the deepest levels of our subconscious. It's temporary. Everything's temporary. We're not going to be in these bodies at a certain time, right? That's a hell of a burden to carry around in your regular conscious minds, right? And it's buried so deep from incarnations after incarnations of having to deal with living in a temporary situation because you just don't know. You just don't know anything. And that's probably, not probably, it is the design by God, because He said, I know, this is another great quote right here, okay? And then we'll get down to business. Of course, this is business too. The world, the world, as you know, the world is not illusory. Really? That's all we hear. It's a Maya, a dream delusion, right? But listen, you got to listen to the end of this quote. The world is not illusory insofar as it is an expression of the unmanifest absolute. I mean, this world is in God's consciousness right now. And a part of His consciousness is this 3D HD heavy delusion that we're in. All right. So it's not an illusion. It's in God. Everything's in God. All right. And that's a forever. Always has been, always will be, and is right now. So since we've made that point, that it's not an illusory world in as far as it is an expression of the unmanifested absolute. Wow. What is indeed, here we go, what is indeed illusory is yours and mine, my mistaken identity. That ain't you on in your wallet and your license, my dears. That ain't you at all. Is our mistaken identity as an independent entity. That I'm going, it's my, God, this and that. And then we take our troubles to our, unfortunately or fortunately, depending, well, all is fortunate because everybody's a teacher, but we might just be taking to our loved ones every single cotton picking day our worries and our fears, and just being, you don't let your hair down in a relationship. All right. You don't. You put your best suit of behavior, as Yogananda said. You put that on, because we're here to support each other. If you're in a marriage, if you're in a relationship of any kind, we're here to support each other. And that's what we're going to look at today. It's kind of this idea that the ones that we take for granted the most are the ones that we don't give any energy to. We don't give any respect to because we're so caught up in our own little mind stuff. So anyway, isn't that amazing that we can sit here now and be an independent entity when, by Jove, God is you? So let's just take on the sweetness of that. Let's just engage in the honey this morning, all right? Let's be a hive, busy little bees, but not busy with worldly thoughts, but all with compassionate thoughts, because we're going to look at compassion this morning. So thank you for being here, Todd. And Tara and Sarah and Narayan and Lynn. What a great habit we have here. Lori, Lisa and Jim, Cami, Betsy. Wow, what a good habit. See, now this is something to carry into the New Year's. I'm not just saying this stream. I'm saying all the things that are like always make you feel better. They always bring you back to the consciousness of the awareness of the loving presence, right? As we've learned so much that this loving presence, that's like yesterday we talked about, it's not only the truth of life, this present moment, but it's a doorway to God. This breath is a doorway to God. Whatever you got going on in your brain right now is a doorway to God. Whatever's going on in your heart is a doorway to God. Everything is a doorway to God, even if you're put behind bars. And where do you think we are? And the illusion of our own self identity is a prison, is where we are for the most part. So, having said all of that, let's close our eyes. If you haven't already, my dears, because this supposedly is a meditation, right? But it's kind of morphing into what I used to say was a daily download of divinity. Because for me, I have to express the unexpressible every single cotton picking day. Yep, I have to express it. That's just is part of my my being, part of my dharma is to share the best of me while I still have a a brain cell, right, and a heart that feels. Yeah. So anyway, this is more of like a download of divinity, my dears. Actually, a place where you can just absorb, as I mention often, feel the frequencies, open your heart to the divine. This is a particular time for each of us to really shine with the divine as we sit here. It has nothing to do with my words. Words mean nothing. It's the vibrations that you feel, as you know, is everything. So close your eyes, my dears, and listen to this beautiful quote from Rumi just to get us in the mood. In the mood. He said, when God wishes to help, when God wishes to help, he lets us weep. He lets us weep. Wherever water flows, life flourishes. Wherever tears fall, divine mercy is showing. When God wishes to help us, he lets us weep. Wherever water flows, life flourishes. And wherever tears fall, my dears, divine mercy is showing. Ah, what a great preparation for the new year. Getting close to God is to feel like you are ready to just shed a tear at any moment. Not because of what someone says, not because of what you're doing, but something on the inside of you is connected to something more beautiful than you could ever imagine. The divine spirit. Oh, that's an ocean. That's an ocean of tears, my dears. Yogananda has a beautiful chant. It's often not sung, but it's so apropos for ending this year. For ending this year. Where we completely leave our skin, right? Remember? Year of the snake, we're ending. And we shed. We shed that identity, that personal identity. Me, 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 me. It always circles back around to me, the little me. That needs to turn into compassion, not only for yourself, but for those that are closest to you, for starters. And I have a nice thing from Thich Nhat Hanh on that coming up. But this is that chant. They have heard thy name, the blind, the halt and lame. They have heard thy name, the blind and halt and lame. They have come to thy door, Lord. They have come to thy door, Lord. Give them an audience now. Give them an audience now. They have heard thy name, the blind, the halt, and lame. Those who are in despair, wipe thou their tears. Those who are in despair, wipe thou their tears. They have come to thy door, Lord. They have come to thy door. Give them an audience, Lord. Though they have heard thy name, the blind, the halt, and lame. Those who are drowned in sin, to whom will they turn? Those who are drowned in sin, to whom will they go? They have no one, Lord. They have no one. Do not turn them away. Do not turn them away. This is why we got to break free of the little circle of our own awareness about ourselves and our little routines in life and our fears and phobias, because we know it's temporary and we still hold fear. It's time to get busy, my dears, and hold a space in our hearts for everybody, for everyone. Because that heart in that person, your wife, your husband, your animals, a stranger, the world at large, is God come as a someone in despair, or comes in the guise of a so-called sinner, or blind, or lame. What is that quote? The Bible? Those who have, touched the hearts of others, they will know me. but so many don't know me in my disguise. Okay, here's one reading, and then we'll do Thich Nhat Hanh. It is easy to move through life focused on what's right in front of us, our routines, our plans, our own circles. But in the quiet of our days, my dears, there are people passing by. There are people passing by with hearts carrying weight that we never see. We never see that weight. Souls searching for hope we often forget to share. The blind, the halt, the lame. Ignoring the lost. They call it the lost. Ignoring the lost always looks like turning away. Sometimes it's simply being too busy, too hurried, too wrapped up in our own world to notice theirs. And yet, and yet, Jesus never overlooked the wandering. He paused, he stayed, he reached, he moved toward the ones everyone else walked past. So listen, my dears, when a heart makes room for compassion, something shifts. Suddenly, someone's name matters. Someone's story matters. Someone's silence matters. And God begins to open our eyes to the people He's been placing along our path all along. Loving the lost isn't about grand gestures, it's about carrying. This is so, so beautiful. Loving the lost isn't about grand gestures, it's about carrying God's heart in ordinary moments. In ordinary moments. Listening longer, slowing down, praying for someone who comes to mind, choosing kindness when it's inconvenient. These small acts echo eternity. So just breathe that free, that freedom air of compassion right now for those, all souls, all souls. The soul isn't hurting, but the human, identified as a separate entity, is suffering. We are all suffering. So let's feel that rare air of really starting to feel for others, especially those that are in constant contact with you, especially, especially. And of course, you're in contact with you, but sometimes we forget that maybe I need some compassion and maybe I need to cry more. In fact, I think that's probably a good idea. So I had to grab this little video of Thich Nhat Hanh, but I have the words. He says it's so sweet. Guy was so humble. He's a walking example for all of us. These souls that have really shed everything because they know life is temporary and they know this day today is the most important one. He said, if you love someone, if you love someone, the greatest gift, the greatest gift that you can make to him or her is your presence. Your presence. Who are you living for? When you live for God, when you live for love, when you live to get completely out of the way so what these beautiful higher ways of being can be our rest of our days. We're going to be very mindful now about our presence. What's going on? What are we thinking about? What's in our hearts? So listen to what he said. If you love someone, the greatest gift that you can make to him or her is your presence. If you are not truly there, and it's all about yourself and wandering mind, how could you love? How could you love? They have come to thy door, Lord. Give them an audience. If you are not there, how could you love? And therefore, the most meaningful declaration when you are in love, this is quite a sentence. The most meaningful declaration when you are in love is this. And you should hear it when he says it. He says, this is the most meaningful declaration when you are in love. Is this, darling, I am here for you. I am here for you. Your presence is very important, is very, very important for him or her. Your presence. We don't need anything. We don't need material gifts. We don't need to hear a story again and again and again. We aren't we kind of done with all that? What do we want? We want to maybe be understood, but maybe not that. To feel like someone really cares. Maybe not quite that, but that there is a God spark coming from them into us, and we need to honor that, and vice versa. Whatever it is for you, let's make sure these days can take us closer to God and ready for the new year and a new start and a new awareness and a new compassion that we're raring to go on December the 31st at midnight. Darling, I am here for you. And he says, and that cannot be bought with money. That can only be practiced by mindfulness and making yourself available to your beloved one. This is a practice of mindfulness. Darling, and he puts it this way now, I am there for you. I am there for you. So let's just feel that divine mercy coming through a tear or two, right? That wherever tears fall, divine mercy is showing, says Rumi. Wherever waters flow, life flourishes. So I hope you all can etch out some amazing moments. It could be that you have to go do an errand and you just pause in your own vehicle and you set aside whatever were the outward plans. And you just kind of step into this world. They have heard thy name, Lord. Let's give them an audience. Those who, the blind, the halt, the lame, those who are in despair, those who are drowned in sin, where can they go? Who will really listen to them? And just be aware of the mega suffering. What was the Lord Buddha's first noble truth? All life is suffering. Why? Second noble truth, because we have our own viewpoints and desires. Then what do? We practice the middle way. There's 8 steps. The middle way is called. And we let go of all our desires for the world. So this is a prayer at this turning point in our lives, getting ready for the end of the year of the snake and getting ready for a year of compassion. A little prayer at this turning point in our lives. Lord, as this year comes to an end, we pause before you in gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for the strength that carried us through unseen battles. Forgive us for the moments when fear spoke louder than faith. Renew our hope or disappointment tried to settle. We place every unfinished story into your faithful hands. We're going to let you go before us into the new year with wisdom and peace. Let our hearts remain anchored in your promises. We declare that our future is anchored in you. and you hear the birds singing, the wind blowing, the chimes playing, your heart beating, your soul breaking through a limitation, and you're starting to feel the fire element of your soul's innate love and for the blind halt and lame, which is us. Well, thank you, O Spirit, for a great beginning of a Monday on this December the 29th, getting us prime time, prime time with the divine. And we're primed, right? Y'all, y'all interested in the best rest of these days? Just a few, just just a few. Take that, take those pauses, my dears, right? That's and maybe start catching your tears till you have a little cup filled. Let's go with those tears because that's where we get the mercy. That's how we feel the mercy. All right. Or get a stocking cap like Betsy has. You should sell those, Betsy. I know. They're just kills me. Look, yeah, that's just the greatest hat. The greatest hat. So thank you, everybody. Let's do our mantra. This is our little gift back to the giver. Yogananda says, what do you want? Do you want the gifts of the giver or do you want the giver? So this is our little thing we do, just as a gift back to the giver. So we love, definitely. We so care. That really fits for today's download, and we share that too. Yeah, yeah. So thank you for listening. Right? This is a good practice. It's a good practice. So let's see let's see if we can surprise our loved ones, huh? And really, I'm there for you, darling. Yeah. And don't worry if there's no person in your life. That probably might be a big a big blessing for your soul. So your soul can take off like a rocket ship, without having to work through all of those things that we talked about today in what a relationship and all that kind of stuff. No, we're where we're meant to be, with somebody or not with somebody. You know, our particular set of circumstances and their circumstances. It's all absolutely God that's behind it. So thank you, spirit, souls. Have a glorious day. I'll see you in the pause. And I can't wait to practice that myself. It was a good thought that came through. Yeah, right. Narayan, you got it. You got this thing, Narayan. Gee, yeah. Nice shawl or whatever that blanket is you got wrapped around. I don't blame you. Minnesota. Ooh. All right, Todd, hang in there, brother. I know you will. Those chimes, they're looking like there's not much wind there today. Yeah. All right. Our chimes were really ringing last night. Yeah. So, all right. Much love to you all. Thank you. Tomorrow we have Tuesdays with Tom. Okay. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. All right. Much love and light to all of you. Ah. Oh. Does anyone have anything to say? Should ask you that. You might have the nugget of nuggets to say. So I'll turn this on just for a second, just in case someone has a nugget to throw out to the group.
I had a nugget. Hey, Bess. I have a nugget. I like how you're talking about finishing the year,
Yeah.
where like a lot of times I'm like, new year, it doesn't matter. Every day is a new year.
Yeah, right.
But but it is nice to finish strong. Like I work in construction and we start a job and you want to start strong. The job goes for a long time, and towards the end, it kind of phases out, and people get weak and they don't finish strong. You got to finish strong, So you might be almost done, but there's always these little details that need to get cleaned up, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what we always say at the end of a job is you got to finish strong, and that leaves a mark with your client.
Love it. I love
But every day is a new day, and every day is a new year
Thank
too.
you.
So
That's a great nugget, but that's the point. That's really the point right there. We're worn out and this and that, and we just, whatever. And but the finish is everything.
yeah,
It is everything. So thank you for that. That's a perfect example, man. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Todd.
cheers.
Yeah. Anyone else have a nugget?
I got a pet sheep over here.
Only my nugget is only that Betsy's smile mimics the smile of her hat.
Yeah. I know, right? I know. I know. Isn't that great? That's great. That's great. That's a nugget. Yeah. Look at her. There's presence. That's all you got to keep doing. Betsy is being you. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Betsy. Thank you, Narayan, G, Lynn, and Sarah, and everyone else that came on. What a great group. Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Say-
Aho. All right. Love to the kids. The kids, grown ups, Narayan. Yeah, not kids, grown ups. Yeah, give them my love. Aho.